Alright, so this was not very hard to cut down the middle. It was actually very smooth compared to the dura mater surrounding it. Right here we have the corpus callosum, this C-shaped figure in the middle of the brain. And here is the thalamus. Below that, this piece might be better actually to look at it. Below the thalamus would be the hypothalamus, and then the lateral ventricle is inside, or well, just underneath the corpus callosum, and there's a very thin membrane that separates the two lateral ventricles that is, the septum pellicum. Within the lateral ventricle, let's see if I can get it open here. Within it, just at the top here, would be the choroid plexus. The third ventricle runs here below the alongside the thalamus. Probably see it better right here. Here, the third ventricle is right here, and then the cerebral aqueduct runs down this way, but through the brainstem where cerebral spinal fluid flows. And then the fourth ventricle is down here, and it runs into the cerebellum. That's the fourth ventricle. Here, this is white matter, and this darker color in the cerebellum is gray matter. Also, over here in the cerebrum, this would be white matter, and up here, this darker color is gray matter. But back to the cerebellum, this tree-like figure in the middle of it is the arbor vitae. And then the dorsal and dorsal and ventral roots of the spinal cord would be down here. You can see how they separate. Those are the roots. So just to make sure I have covered everything on the structure list, there is I said cerebrum, sulcus, gyrus. We got the longitudinal fissure, the brainstem, and in the midbrain was the cerebral peduncle, which connects the cerebellum to the cerebrum. Superior and inferior colliculus, pons, medulla oblongata, again, those are down here, the medulla, and then the pons is just above that. The vermis, lateral hemispheres of the cerebellum, covered the meninges, the pituitary gland, we cut that away, that's right here, and then covered the olfactory bulb and the nerve connected to that, the optic nerve, which runs away from the brain, part of the optic chiasm. The optic tract is connected to the brain. The ocular motor, trochlear, trigeminal, and abducens. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And then the corpus callosum was that C-shaped figure in the middle of the brain. The thalamus, the hypothalamus just below that. Lateral ventricle beneath the corpus callosum. Within that is the septum pellicum and the choroid plexus. And then we covered the third ventricle, the cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle, the arbor vitae, white gray matter, and the dorsal and ventral roots. Alright, thank you.